Hey everybody, we're here today with Isabella de Sosa. Going to talk to her a little bit about her retired racehorse project for the year, Cosmic One, and learn a little bit more about him and about where Isabella comes from. Isabella, tell us a little bit about your background and where you started your riding career.
So I've been riding since I can remember. I used to ride at my dad's farm on a pony that they bought me and my sister. I used to ride around with my dad, and then my dad had a contact who was working for him at the sales, and she taught lessons, Ashley Watts, at Liftoff Equestrian. So I started riding with Ashley Watts, and I that's how I got really into riding. And then I've ridden with a couple different barns, and now I ride with Andrea Simpson, and and Daniel Blumen sends me horses to ride, and I work with off-the-track thoroughbreds, and I've always done like the hunter jumpers and the equitation, and it's really what I've been doing.
And tell us how you started doing these retired racehorse projects.
Well, we had our first retired racehorse project horse, Dewey Square, before we even knew what it was. So we had my dad's friend was talking to him, and he showed her a video of me riding Dewey, and she asked if he was makeover eligible, and my dad asked what that was, and she told us that we could apply, and we applied, and they let us in, and that was kind of our introduction to the makeover. And I mean, it's a great program, and I really enjoy showing at that show, and I enjoy working with all the trainers, and it's quite an amazing program.
And since Dewey, you've had how many?
I've had 3. He will be my 4th. He's my 4th one.
And so you had Dewey, and you had which other?
I had Dewey, then I had Cara Hilo, and then I had Late Night Mark, and now I have Cosmic One.
And you won some good stuff with, which one was that again? With
I've won the show jumping 3 years in a row now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And tell us how you came about landing this big guy.
So my dad knows David and Gordo and Dottie and Gordo and the Mosses, and we actually asked last year about getting him for the makeover, and he wasn't quite done racing yet. So this year my dad was talking to David and Dottie, and they were ready to let him retire. So we asked if we could ride him in the makeover, and they said yeah, and I mean that's kind of how we got started.
And now what are your plans with him for the makeover this year? What are you going to show him in?
So hopefully we'll be doing the jumpers and the hunters. That's the end goal, and if we can win, that'd be great. But I mean, I'm really excited to have him as an ambassador for the thoroughbreds.
And how has Hallway Feeds been a part of your journey this year on the Retired Racehorse Project?
I think feed is a very critical component to helping them transition from racehorse to show horse. The feed has really helped him put on some weight, and helped his muscles develop the way they need to for the sport horses. And feed is a very critical component, and Hallway Feeds is the best feed we've fed. So I mean, it's been great.
And this guy's been lucky to be on Hallway Feeds his whole life as well. So
That's awesome.
It's always neat to see them go from in utero to foaling and to their racing career, and now he's got his next career as a sport horse.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of your other horses you have.
So I have a jumper named Brimara. She's one of Daniel Blumen's horses that he sent me to ride for a little bit, and then she can do the meter 30s. And then my dad's horse, Isle of Giants, he's a Giants Causeway, so he was our first off-the-track thoroughbred before we did the makeover. And my dad shows him in the 3-foot jumpers, and does everything with that horse. And he's been the horse that's been with all of our makeover horses. He shows them the ropes a little bit, so he's quite an amazing horse.
And Isabella is obviously not an anomaly. Her family is very vested in the horse industry here in Lexington. Tell us what your mom does, what your dad does.
So my mom, she's a partner and vet at Hagyard Equine Medical Institute. She specializes in reproduction, and she does all of our vet work. She doesn't do lameness, but she does everything but lameness. And then my dad is a partner manager at Hidden Brook Farm in Paris, Kentucky, and he manages like brood mares and foals, and he does the whole thoroughbred thing. So it's kind of how we have our connection to the off the track side.
What are your goals in the future? Your riding goals, your goals for when you graduate? I know you still have a few years. It's all a shock to us that you're driving now. So to think about you graduating, it's a shock as well. What do you have in plan?
Well, I'd love to be in this business for the long run. I'd love to work with young horses, and I'd love to produce horses. And I mean, everybody says their goal is to go to the Olympics or World Cup final. Yeah, I'd love to do that as well. But I really enjoy working with young horses, and I've learned a lot from working with them off the tracks now. And my goal as far as college, I want to go get like a degree, like a business degree, and then hopefully work in this business for the rest of my life. So
that's exciting. Now, these guys, I guess your retired racehorse projects were your first thoroughbreds, correct? Because you had ponies,
yes.
and then you
I had ponies, and then I had a
some
couple
warm
of jumpers.
bloods,
Yeah.
and so the thoroughbreds. And how do you feel that they differ from your warm bloods that you had previously?
So they're very, very eager. Like, they want to please you. And, they're actually, I feel as mine, they don't need as much repetition. Because once you teach them something, they want to do it, and they want to do it as best as they can. I'm not saying warm bloods won't try their best either, because, warm bloods are obviously amazing too, because I have some, but I've found that they're very quick to do what you ask them to do when they figure it out. So they're very athletic, and they're very honest, and they sometimes get a bad rep for being hot and crazy, but the majority of them aren't.
Do you have any advice to any young and some other young teenage folks that would like to try to get into the retired racehorse project?
I would say just have fun with it, because these horses are great, and they can be lifelong partners. They can be whatever you want them to be, and they're so fun to work with, and you learn a lot from it. So I'd say enjoy the road that you have going to the makeover.
And it's still a pretty new thing, the retired racehorse project. How is the show atmosphere when you're there? What's it like?
Everybody there, you make so many friends. You get people from different backgrounds, from different places, and you all just become really great friends. And the makeover is just, there's a lot going on, but it's not in a sense that it's a crazy horse show. It's like a really chill, lots of people hanging out kind of horse show, and it's a great environment for the thoroughbreds as well.